my friends, to another episode of John's Sports Corner. And trust me, the airwaves are burning up out there, not only with John's Sports Corner, but we seem to have a race that John won't talk about. It's not an athletic race. It's a race between a Trump, a Trump, and a Harris. So, John, let me say, welcome to John's Sports Corner on this pre-election day program that we're about to do. And we might say it's the last program before the election, right? So,
yes, it is.
So when we get back, you will tell us how the race has turned out, whether it be by a nose or by a shoulder.
If we're going to chase those crazy ballets out of here. A very good afternoon to the John Sports Corner family and the SosoBone family. Good afternoon and welcome once more to our sports update. Before I jump into sports, certainly I have to remind you that Winner Circle Sports in the SosoBone shop, you can go there and get merchandise that's listed of your choice, including the great Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let me jump into some birthdays now. As I say, happy birthday to a long-time friend. And can I call him adversary?
Okay.
We played on different teams back then.
Mm.
One Mr. Carl Brown. Carl Brown also former Jamaica Reggae Boys football coach.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Carl. Carl, celebrating a big birthday today. So happy birthday, Carl. Carl back then played with Boys Town. Of course, I played with Cavalier in those days, yes. Courtney Walsh, our Jamaican West Indies great fast bowler, he celebrates today.
Okay.
And the former great footballer out of Argentina, one Mr. Maradona, or should I say Diego Armando Maradona, he would have celebrated a birthday today. Former reggae boy Ricardo Fuller celebrates today. Also, a former Trinidad and Tobago footballer, Stern John, he celebrates a birthday today. Tomorrow, Warren Weir celebrates a birthday, former athlete out of Jamaica and Olympic and World Championship medalist in the 200 meters. And this is not sports, so to speak, but I want to mention it because on Saturday will be November 2nd. And on November 2nd, 1930, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie was crowned King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah.
Okay.
On Sunday, Kimberly Williams, another Jamaican triple jumper athlete, celebrates her birthday. Since Godfrey Mutai 2011, 2013, or rather, let me back up a bit here, Trevor, and let me start with the biggest street party on the first Sunday of November in New York City. The 53rd New York City Marathon takes place.
Okay, they've been running for a long time.
Time changes this weekend.
Oh.
You ready for time change, Trevor?
Oh, my goodness. So we jump in the gun, going from daylight saving to night saving time.
To what? Is that what I call it? Yeah, Eastern Star, whatever they call it.
It's spring forward and fall back,
Yeah. It's fall back now.
It's fall back time.
Fall back time, yes.
Dip and fall back time.
Yeah, that's right. And both Ethiopia's Tamirat Tola and Kenya's Helen Obiri will be back to defend their titles in the New York City Marathon on Sunday. Tola looking to be the first man since Godfrey Mutai 2011 and 2013 to win back-to-back New York City marathons. 2012 was cancelled because of Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, yes.
Tola added the Paris Olympic gold medal to his trophy chest during the summer, while Obiri won bronze. Belgium's Olympic silver medalist, Bashir Abdi, is also going for the big prize on the men's side. So too 2022 winner Evans Chibet, who missed last year's event because of injury. On the ladies' side, 2022 New York City Marathon winner Charan Lokedi of Kenya will pose a formidable challenge to Helen Obiri. Also vying for top prize will be Kenya's Sheila Chepkirul and Vivian Sheriot of and Ethiopia's Tyrannish Dibaba. I remember a few years back, the Dibaba girls dominated long distance running from those girls from Ethiopia. And it's good to see Tyrannish coming back trying to win a New York City Marathon on Sunday. You know, I'll be up, Trevor, for that one. For the 3 or 4 hours of viewership.
Okay.
Last night, the beast of the East pulled one back against the best in the West as the Yankees prevented a World Series sweep by the Dodgers, winning Game 4, 11-4.
But the question is, John, since the Dodgers won 3 straight, right? Because they were up 3-0 against the Yankees. Do you think that is now the Yankees' turn to win 3 straight and go to a Game 7?
Well, you know, we will have to see what happens tonight.
Okay.
Game 4, this is what, Game 5?
5.
Which it should be in progress now.
Okay.
You're scheduled to start at 6:30 New York time. So we will have to see what happens tonight. But the big question facing the Bronx Bombers, will Judge preside over this World Series beginning tonight? He has been very silent.
Too silent.
For most or just about all of the previous 4 games. But last night, he seemed to be coming out of that funk. So we will see what happens tonight, Trevor. Game 5.
They scored a lot of runs last night.
They did, but it basically came from the bottom of the order. The guy, the fill-ins, if you want to call them that. A big home run by Anthony Volpe. A big home run, of course, by what's his name at the top of the order, and the catcher hit a home run. So,
but that's Stanton.
No, not West. It just slips me now. But hopefully, the Yankees can win tonight and take the series back to Los Angeles. In track and field news, jumps coach Kerry Lee Ricketts out of Jamaica says former long jump world champion Tajay Gale has more in the tank, and if he remains healthy, will return to the top of the heap. Gale, as was reported earlier, left the MVP camp in September to join the Ricketts Performance Track Club. Gale holds the national record of Jamaica of 8.69 meters. However, since winning the World Championship gold in 2019, Tajay Gale has struggled with knee injuries. St. Vincent and the Grenadines celebrated their 45th independence anniversary by honoring some of their athletes as sports ambassadors. The honorees are Olympian middle distance runner Shafiqa Maloney, Test cricketer Jamel Warrikand, and former national footballers, if you want to call them soccer players, Fitzgerald John Hines King and Olex Anderson.
Okay.
In the world of cricket, Cricket West Indies named their 15-man squad for the one-day home series against England that bowls off on October 31st in Antigua. The squad is Shea Hope captain, Joel Andrew, the 17-year-old phenom, or 18 now, Kesey Karthik, Roston Chase, Matthew Ford, Shimron Hetmeyer, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Brandon King, Evan Lewis, Gudakesh Moti, Sherfane Rutherford, Jaden Seals, Romario Shepherd, and Hayden Walsh Jr. And, you know, the head coach, of course, is Darren Sammy. Team
Yes.
manager, Raw Lewis. The bowling coach is James Franklin. The fielding coach, Ryan Griffith. And the batting coach, Floyd Reefer. Games 1 and 2 at the Sir Viv Richards Stadium, October 31st and November 2nd in Antigua. Then game 3 moves to Kensington Oval in Barbados, November 6th. And it is good to see the West Indies team back playing again shortly, and hopefully we can send the Brits home packing by winning this series after losing the series to Sri Lanka a few days ago. Trinidad and Tobago and West Indies batsman Nicholas Pooran has reportedly signed by the Lucknow Super Giants as their first choice retention for the 2025 Indian Premier League season. He had a superb 2024 season, scoring 499 runs, and he followed that up in the recently concluded Caribbean Premier League, where he broke the record for most 2020 runs set in a calendar year.
Wow.
Big 5 Test series ahead between India and Australia starting November 22nd. India hoping to recover from their 3-test home defeat by New Zealand earlier this month. India has called 3 new players to the squad for the tour: opener Abhimanyu Eastwaran, all-rounder Nitish Reddy, and fast bowler Harshit Rana. A notable absence, of course, is Mohammad Shami. The remainder of the squad is Rohit Sharma, captain, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Lokesh Rahul, Safaraz Khan, Rishabh Pant, Dhruv Jurel, Ravi Ashwin, Ravi Jadea, and Washington Sundar. Cricket West Indies Super 50 Cup bowled off yesterday, with Trinidad and Tobago Red Force defeating the combined campuses and colleges by 60 runs at the Sir Frank Worrell Memorial Ground. Red Force 194 from 50 overs, Kejorn Otley 45, Jid Gooley 37, Amari Goodrich 3 for 18 from 4 overs, Akshaya Persad 2 for 29 from 10, and Romario Graves 3 for 31 from 8 overs. Meanwhile, the CCC 134 in 38.1 overs, Shakiri Paris 57, Harry Pierre 4 for 8 from 9.1 overs, Yannick Carrier 3 for 31 from 8 overs. At the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, the Windward Volcanoes squeezed a 1-wicket win over the Guyana Harpy Eagles. Guyana Harpy Eagles 274 for 5 from 50 overs, Tevin Imlach 65 not out, Kimo Paul 54 not out, Tashan Ryan Shanda Paul 49, Kevlon Anderson 42, Shadrach Descartes 2 for 53 from 8 overs. Volcanoes 277 from 49.3 overs, Dylan Douglas 90, Shadrach Descartes 60, Niall Smith, 3 for 46 from 9.4 overs. Kevin Sinclair, 2 for 66 from 10 overs. Volcanoes were 58 for 5 after 11.4 overs when Dylan Douglas joined Shadrach Descartes, and the pair shared in an 81-run, 6-wicket partnership to steady the innings. Today, the Leeward Hurricanes by 142 runs over the West Indies Academy at Queen's Park Oval. Hurricanes 236 for 7 from 47 overs. Justin Greaves 111 not out.
Ooh.
Jediah Blades 3 for 49 from 9 overs. Joshua Bishop 2 for 31 from 10. West Indies Academy bowled out for 94 in 27.5 overs. Nimar Bolden 30. Daniel Doram 3 for 34 from 9 overs. Rakeem Cornwall 3 for 22 from 4.5 overs. At the Brian Lara Cricket Ground, Barbados Royals by 24 runs over the Jamaica Scorpions. Barbados Pride 260 for 8 from 50 overs. Zachary McCaskey 63, Kyle Mayers 41. Marquino Mindley 3 for 43 from 10 overs. Jeva Royal 2 for 43 from 10. Brad Barnes 2 for 46 from 10. Scorpions 199 from 35 overs. Jermaine Blackwood top scoring with 40. Jamel Warrican 4 for 28 from 8 overs. Kamar Smith 2 for 48 from 8, while Dominic Drakes picked up 3 wickets from his 7 overs, giving up 34 runs. World of Football, Cavalier Football Club out of Jamaica take on Mocha Football Club in the semi-final return leg of the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup at Jamaica's National Stadium. I think that game is about to start or starts at about 7:30. The opening leg ended in a scoreless draw in the Dominican Republic last Thursday. The winner tonight secures a spot in the Caribbean Cup final as well as a place in the Champions Cup. Manchester City's Rodri is the Ballon d'Or winner for 2024, beating out Vinicius Jr.
Wow.
He is the first Spaniard to win the coveted football trophy since Luis Suarez in 1960. He not only helped Manchester City win a fourth consecutive English Premier League title, but also helped Spain win the Euro 2024, where he was named Player of the Tournament despite forced off due to injury in the final. Rodri, whose full name is Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante, is expected to miss the remainder of the season following surgery to repair an anterior cruciate ligament. Again, Vinicius Jr. was second in the vote for the Ballon d'Or, with Real Madrid teammate Jude Bellingham third. Argentine and Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez picked up the Yashim Trophy for the second year running. Meanwhile, it's a big double for Spain as Aitana Bonmati, who plies her trade with Barcelona women, was voted female Ballon d'Or winner for the second year in a row. He won every possible trophy at club level with Barcelona last year. Liga F, the Champions League, Supercopa, and Copa de la Reina. Jumping over to schoolboy football in Jamaica, it's the playoff round now, and in the Costa Cup, St. Elizabeth Technical 6 goals to 1 over Alphonsus Davis. Garvey Maceo and Kemps Hill in a goalless draw, while Dent Hill 6-1 over Happy Grove. Manning Cup, Kingston College coming from behind to defeat Wolmer's 3-1. Excelsior 2-0 over Tivoli High School rather. Heidel 1-0 over St. Andrew Technical High School. Mona 2-1 over Campion. Jamaica College 5-0 over Charlie Smith. St. Catherine 3-1 over Calabar. Eltham 3-0 over Jonathan Grant, and St. George's College going down 1-0 to St. Jago. Results from Jamaica Premier League games on the weekend. Humble Lion 1-0 over Mullines United. Dunbeholden 1-0 over Harbourview. Mount Pleasant by the same score over Tivoli Gardens. Montego Bay United and Portmore in a 0-0 stalemate. Chapelton Maroons and Waterhouse in a 1-1 stalemate. Same score between Racing and Vere United. And going across the pond, Trevor, Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag has been relieved of duties following Manchester United's 2-1 loss to West Ham on the weekend. The loss on Sunday just added to a less than stellar start to the 2024-25 season for United. And we understand United is in talks with sporting manager Ruben Amorim as Ten Hag's replacement. Ruud van Nistelrooy will be the caretaker manager until a permanent replacement for Ten Hag is found. And talking about English Premier League football on the weekend, Aston Villa and Bournemouth in a 1-1 draw. Brentford squeezed by Ipswich 4-3. Brighton and the Wolverhampton Wanderers in a 2-2 stalemate. Manchester City squeezed by Southampton 1-0. Everton and Fulham in a 1-1 stalemate. Chelsea 2-1 over Newcastle. Crystal Palace 1-0 over Tottenham Hotspurs. West Ham 2-1 over Manchester United. And Arsenal in a 2-2 draw with Liverpool. That was really a big game, very entertaining.
Okay.
And finally, in Netball Jamaica has finally set a date for an annual general meeting after an absence of 3 years.
Okay.
They are supposed to have annual general meetings every year, but for whatever reason, there has not been an annual general meeting for 3 years. And First Vice President Simone Forbes has confirmed that December 14th will be the next annual general meeting. All Netball Jamaica positions, including president and directorship roles, are up for re-election. What we haven't heard yet is if incumbent president Tricia Robinson, who is serving her second term, is running for re-election. Anyway, First Vice President Forbes says the board is looking at processes to ensure that the sport is governed well, and not having an annual general meeting for this long does not reflect this. And that's where I draw stumps on John Sports Corner on this Wednesday afternoon here on the SosoBone Media Network. And remember to go to Winner Circle Sports in the SosoBone shop and pick up merchandise of your choice, as well as the great Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. Folks, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the marathon this weekend. On Sunday morning, bright and early, remember, time changes Sunday. What is it? 2 o'clock Sunday morning, I think time changes, Trevor.
Well, I think it's 2 o'clock when you're falling back, and it's 1 o'clock when you're falling forward. or when you spring forward, it's
Yeah.
so it always seems to be 1 o'clock when you say time change, because when you spring forward, you go to 1 o'clock, and when you spring backward from 2, you come to back to 1 o'clock, I think.
You know,
Yes.
I tell you, though, that doesn't work so well for me, that time change, because I try to get up, I try to listen to a sports show in Jamaica in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
and their show starts at 9. So I had time to get up now because it was 10 o'clock our time.
Okay. Well, it has
But you know,
a lot of questions has been raised as to whether or not they're going to discontinue this time change.
yeah.
You know, each year it seems to get a little bit of discussion, and some countries have abolished it. Okay, so that not all of them are really embracing or endorsing this time change anymore. But for those people who have to go there and play the game, some of them have to understand that they have to start an hour earlier than they expected to, because
Mhm.
they're falling back. Okay, so their 12 o'clock is now 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
And until they get adjusted, you know, to
Yeah.
the change, yes, you lose an hour's sleep when you fall back. Therefore, you might not be as sharp as a razor when you play the game the next day. But
Yep.
John, just before we close out, um, on the game of soccer, we seem not to have any standout player in Jamaica, and actually in the Caribbean. Like we recognize we have standout players in track, we have standout players in cricket, where the rest of the world is actually bidding to get standout players from the Caribbean in the world of soccer. We look at South America, we look at Brazil, we look at, and we look at Venezuela, we look at Mexico. Or they seem to have a player that the rest of the country looks at. Okay? Where the
Yeah,
young
but we
people,
do we do have one,
who is that?
Khadija Bonishaw. Yeah. Who won all those? She plays in the Super League,
Yeah, well,
Women's
you
Super
see,
League.
and that
But
is
but
my,
but I understand what you said, Trevor.
yes,
In all, put, as I would say in Jamaica, put fun and joke aside.
yes. Well, it's Bunny Shaw that makes this argument so moot.
You, 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 you know, I I don't know if I can say I understand the move to going abroad to find Jamaican players with Jamaica connection to
Right?
come and play for Jamaica because they're playing maybe in the top 2 leagues in Europe.
And I disagree with them coming to play for Jamaica.
You see, and here's I think it's a crutch that our football federation use, Trevor.
Yes.
And I say that it in that they're not spending time to develop our young talented players.
Right?
And I think if they were to spend, we have had a few players who have come through who seem to have some amount of talent. But the question is, how much time or effort does our football federation put into trying to develop the local player? Because I believe that the local players playing for Jamaica, when they are playing at home, they play to defend Jamaica.
Yes, that's right.
And I mean, I can see maybe you fill a spot here and there with a player from across the pond. But I don't think the majority of the Jamaican national team should be made up of players who were not born and bred in Jamaica.
And I agree with you 100% because for one thing, the kids cannot really identify with these players. Okay, I mean, you struggle right now to try to find the names
Yeah.
of the reggae boys. Okay?
And you're right. When you say about kids identifying with players,
Right.
I mean, for me, I grew up around certain players who I looked up to. I loved to see playing as a youngster.
Yes.
I would go to at the time it's Sabina Park before the stadium to see these guys play.
But even up in the hills, John, growing up in the 70s, we know about Alan Skill Cole. Okay? I mean, Skill was every time you're on the field, even when I was doing an interview with Devon, Garfield Comrie, and he was saying that, that he used to play soccer and they used to call him Pele. Okay? Because again, there was a figure in the world of soccer that we identified with. So Brazil and Jamaica is like twins, okay? The relationship between them, again, is like twins, okay? Not only the color of their flags that is very similar in scope, but the fact that we identify with people and it drives us to excel. Usain Bolt has driven the athletic platform in Jamaica to excel after, chasing down Donald Quarry and the other guys from 1958, okay? Because they were name brands to us, okay? Alan Skill Cole was a name brand to us, okay? Ali McNabb, I think, was the last good name that was coming out of Jamaica where soccer is concerned, okay? But apart from that,
Had some since had some since Ali McNabb. Quite a few, as a matter of fact. Because remember the World Cup, 98 World Cup set, is after Ali McNabb.
yes.
So you had what's his name, Blacker Pearl. You had oh boy, what's his name? Used to play left back.
But their name does not resonate. That's my point.
No man, Blacker Pearl was special as a youngster. Very special coming out of Excelsior.
Okay.
Yeah, man. What's his name? I just mentioned his name. He's celebrating a birthday. Ricardo Fuller was another very good player as a youngster. But you see, these guys were born and grew up in Jamaica playing their football.
Right, because guys like Rum, we used to talk about this, that he had potential.
Yeah. And he's another one. Marvin Morgan was another who I thought
Jermaine Lou.
Worse.
The general, Jermaine Lou.
Yeah, but no, he was different. I think he to me, he was different to Rum and Marvin Morgan.
Okay.
In that Jermaine was serious about his football.
Right.
I don't think Rum and Marvin Morgan understood their potential and what was required for them to go from level D to C to B to E.
Right. Right.
And the kind of dedication and work. I remember the first time I saw Jermaine Hugh playing, it was in New Jamaica was playing, I think it was Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. And first time I see, and I said to a friend of mine who I went with, I said, why that? I said, that guy is the best player on the field, man.
Okay.
Jeremy
Yes.
and you.
That type of
But
identification.
you know something, Trevor? And one of these days, I probably go and see if I can get one of my football friends to come and we talk some football.
Definitely. Definitely.
But for some reason, it appears as if the coaches back then didn't want a talented player like Jermaine Hugh playing in the middle for whatever reason. They claim he don't tackle and all that, but then you put somebody else to play beside him who going to do the tackling and get him the ball.
Right.
Because of what he can do with the ball.
Yes.
You know?
Different skills.
But and skill was the same thing.
Yes.
What do you say? Skill was a touch above the class.
and skill had Robbie to get him the ball too.
And
you
know, but I just think that we don't, our football federation has not taken the bull by the horn and develop the players from under 13, under 15 coming up. That by the time they get to under 19, they can maybe sign in professional contracts.
Yes.
And playing for Jamaica.
Yeah. One of the problems I also see is the relationship of the diaspora to other sports in Jamaica except track and field. Over the last 20 plus years, what the relationship has been nurtured through Team Jamaica Bickle. Okay? And the diaspora has invested into that platform, track and field, and we have seen the results because when you have Safa and Usain and Chelian and all the stars that come out of track and field, it motivates them to invest more into track and field. But we do not have that identification in the diaspora with soccer, not even with cricket. So we do not hear any organizations, non-profit or otherwise, saying that they are supporting schoolboy soccer. We don't hear them saying that, like, I was listening to Michelle Toll-Neal, or the Diaspora Northeast representative, reporting that she had taken down 40 computers to one school. We don't hear anybody saying that they took down 100 soccer balls and gave them to one school so that 100 kids in that school who were interested in soccer could have ball time. Ball time, John. Okay? That is when I spoke to Jetty, who used to coach the Team Jamaica at the Caribbean Cup Soccer. When I sent down 20 balls, I said, Jetty, what is your problem? He said, Trevor, touches, man, ball time. Because when you have 40 guys on the field chasing one ball, okay? Because when you're playing soccer, you're not limited to 11 guys on the field. Everybody have to play.
Yeah.
You split the team in the group in 2 teams, and you go and play ball for the next 3 hours. Okay? But when you have 30 guys chasing one ball, it's limited touches. Okay? So his problem was ball time.
Yeah.
These guys having a ball to spend time dribbling and developing their skills, except when they turn up at the field for training and to play a game. Our diaspora has not invested in that aspect of our sport. Okay? Unlike track and field, where you invest in track and field, but when those kids decide they want to go run, they go run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they get up in the morning, they do they go do their 3 mile run, they come back home and dress and go to school. And doing physical education at school, they go there and they do some laps. Okay, and if you're serious about wanting to chase down Safa and Usain, then those are the guys that that if you really want to say you're a track person, then you need to show that type of dedication, because you're not catching them if you're only running once per week. So the pipeline, in Jamaica, where track and field is concerned, is well stocked. Okay, what is going on in some of these schools? The competition is very high for track and field. Soccer, yes, but soccer selectively has maybe about 24 persons out of the school who are dedicated to the program, who actually plays on the school competition, play for the school competitively. Track and field, everybody runs. Okay, everybody runs, and they see the examples out there. No matter where you come from, a Shelly-Ann come from down a yard, they don't a max, but she's still taking home the gold. Okay, those are the mentors that we have in track and field. We're not seeing that in soccer, and the investment from diaspora point of view is not there. Okay, can you imagine if you sent 1,000 soccer balls down to Jamaica, John? We're up in every village and up in every town. They had 4 or 5 soccer balls. You know what boys do when they have a ball, John? It's soccer all day, John.
Yeah.
We never played soccer with watches on our hands saying, okay, 90 minutes, we stop now.
Never know watch.
Never.
You just wait for the sun to go down.
Just wait for we used to play moonlight soccer with white.
And the moon go out, yeah.
Okay. So this is something that we might have to talk about a little bit more often with the diaspora is concerned, that they put a little bit more into that aspect of our culture, okay, to the extent that we can start having relationships now with local homegrown players, because while we say we take players who are practicing abroad, still we're only getting the fringe players anyway. Okay, we're not getting the top of the stream when it comes to Jamaicans who are playing soccer abroad.
Yeah, and if you develop from home, then you're going to get the best.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Because to be quite honest, Usain Bolt's first love was not track and field. It was soccer.
Cricket.
Soccer.
Cricket.
Cricket? Well, he ended up doing track and field, right?
Cricket.
Okay. So
you and Johan Blake, you love to play cricket too.
Okay. You see, but they end up in track and field because the investment and the motivation and the encouragement was more pronounced than track and field. And when you look at the diaspora over here, investing their time and their effort to support track, feeding them, transporting them, all the things that we do over the last 20 plus years, in regards to the pen relays. Everybody want to come run at pen. Okay, we don't have that in soccer, so that is something that
it's different in soccer and in cricket. And I think with soccer, with track and field, why not, Trevor? Track and field, high school, that is in Jamaica, because that is where you really breed our champions from high school. It like champs is very similar to college NCAA championships over here.
Yes, but we start running from elementary school playing tag.
Yeah.
Okay, and the fastest guys in tag, you can catch them between bases. You chase them all over the field and you run in bed, they come back to a safe base.
Yeah, and how Jamaica is today. You have the elementary and prep school now. Championships, you never have that in my day in prep school.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I
So
remember one sports day we had. As
oh,
far as I can remember.
well, we used to have recess in
Yeah,
primary
but
school.
I remember one sport when I was in prep school. I think my last year in prep school had a sports day. And we were on different races, you know.
Mm. So that is something that
Today
again,
you have prep school and primary school championships at the stadium.
yes, they're running from 7 years old.
Look, I remember when the stadium was just built, Trevor. And it was, what's his name? McDonald, I think, was in charge of stadium. And he used to treat the stadium like he owned it, like it's
Mm.
his baby.
Yes, man.
But
Yes.
then I sit down, when I go to stadium and I sit down up in the stand and I look at that field, the football field, I say,
Pretty.
I no, the football field, I say, I wish I could play on that field one
Yes,
day.
man.
And I remember the first night I played on that field, Trevor.
Listen, man.
Yeah,
That green field was so pretty, John.
yeah, man.
Okay.
You
So
want to play on that.
you want to play in that field. And that is a type of motivation that should be visible to our children,
Mm-hmm.
should be visible. So we might have to start ignite a fire in our diaspora to look a little bit beyond. I told you that, I don't remember, I told you that, I was involved in sponsoring that club in St. Thomas with Jetty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, and those guys, John, I mean, yes, they used to play in sneakers because they can't afford boots, right? And because
Mm-hmm.
boots is a arm and a leg and two, and maybe a ears, And one year, I made the commitment and I outfitted the team with jersey, with shorts, with socks, and with boots
Mm-hmm.
from soccer.com, which is where the Pro League get their event.
Mm-hmm.
And the report was that when the kids got dressed that day and they passed going through the little town, go to the field to go play their match, when they saw them, everybody closed their business and followed them like Pied Piper.
Yeah.
And Jetty said that by half time, his striker has scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
And the striker said to him, Coach, take me off now, man. Take me off now. Him said, take you off. What's wrong with you? It's just half time. He said, Coach, me no want to mash up my boots.
Yeah.
And when the game was over, they sit down there and they cleaning their boots and shining their boots, John.
Mm-hmm.
First time these kids were putting on a soccer boot, John.
Mm.
So even though we talk about the talent that's out there, when I used to play soccer in Port Antonio in high school days, I was wearing, it wasn't really crepe, but we never used to call them sneakers those time either because you used to sneak.
A GB.
and and when you play in a wet field, and you try to stop, John, and you slide, you flatten your body,
Well, early days, remember, as barefoot, I used to play. Barefoot.
So again, that come back to the conversation we have been having is, how can we expect the talent to have been developed, when we don't even give them the gear that is needed for them to, you don't give them a hammer and you don't give them the nail, but you expect them to be great carpenters, John.
Mm-hmm.
I see that where the Minister of Education, Favel, Williams, is it? Has now been promoted out of the school, and she's now taking over from Nigel Clark as Minister of Finance. We have said all along that she was more qualified to be a finance minister than to be an educator. So, and maybe therefore that this is a move that might prove very, very productive, and for our students, as she moves on to take over from Nigel Clark as the Minister of Finance. That was just announced either yesterday or today by the Prime Minister. So maybe we can introduce some of these ideas, and maybe, John, you get the new Minister of Sports or the Minister of Education onto the program, so we can run some of our disruptive ideas at some of them.
You're right.
Again,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much, John, for this for this program that we have. And it is settling nicely in our community, and it is being shared, and I encourage them to share it, because it's just, it's a start of something that 20 years from now is going to be far more visible and far more, I would say, beneficial to our community than because we'll have more raw material, and we'll see where some of our ideas have either taken root, and has helped and benefited the community, or some of the things that we offer suggestions, might have matured, okay, and we see the results. So again, let me say thank you for this time that we take on Wednesday evening to analyze and keep our community up to date with our look and our relationship to the sports that is taking place. So again, I remind our listeners, go to SosoBone.com, go to the Winners Store, Winner Circle Shop. When you go there, you can get Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. So for those of you who might think of buying a gift for someone, anyone who is not of our culture, give them something from our culture. Buy them a pound of Blue Mountain coffee. You can get it roasted or grounded. Or you can even buy them an Easter bun, even though it's not Easter, they'll still enjoy it. Or even some sorrel, because sorrel, is a Christmas thing, okay? And of course, you have the name of the game, Jamaica rum cake, black cake, rum cake. That does not come around too often. So if you really want to buy a great gift for your daughter-in-law or your son-in-law who like or who don't like you and you want to change his mind, buy my rum cake. The rum is strong enough for him to say rotted. According to my friend Robert Stevens. So yes, so again, I say thank you very much.
Sir, thank you.
And for our listeners, thank you for tuning in. And please share this. Please share this with your contact list. Again, thank you. And until next week, when we shall be doing the wrap-up on the race between Kamala and the nose, on the hair. I'm sure John will start off next week with that race that is taking place. Okay. Thank you so much.
I hope I'll be awake, because I know some myself going to bed.
Well,
Tuesday night.
Well, if we call the game early, you might go to bed early.
The people do what they're supposed to do.
So yes, if we draw stumps early, then maybe we go to bed early. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Don. Thank you so much.
Okay, Trevor. See you next week, man. Thanks.
Okay.